It's a new morning in America. Fresh, vital. The old cynicism is gone. We have faith in our leaders. We're optimistic as to what becomes of it all. It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism. There are no limits.
It figures it would be something like this.
Our nation, our ideals of vision.
Excuse me.
Just survive.
You know, you look like your head fell in the cheese dip back in 1957. You're okay. This one, real ugly. You see, I take these glasses off, she looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? Put them back on, formaldehyde face. That's what we got.
That's enough out of you. You get out or I call the cops.
Call the cops? You know what you need? You need a Brazilian plastic surgeon.
I've got one that can see.
On February 22nd, we celebrate the intertwined lives of three remarkable figures in American history: Charles Willson Peale, Rembrandt Peale, and George Washington. Their connections through art and patriotism left quite an impact on the nation's cultural heritage. Charles Willson Peale, who passed away on this day in 1827, was a true Renaissance man. Born in 1741, he was not only a talented painter, but also a soldier, scientist, and naturalist. During the American Revolution, Peale served in the Pennsylvania militia and the Continental Army, fighting alongside George Washington. His artistic talents led him to become one of the most prolific portraitists of his time, particularly known for his depictions of Washington and other founding fathers. Rembrandt Peale, born on February 22, 1778, shared his birthday with George Washington. As the son of Charles Willson Peale, he was immersed in the world of art from a young age. At just 17, Rembrandt had the extraordinary opportunity to paint Washington from life, an experience arranged by his father. This early encounter would shape Rembrandt's career, as he became obsessed with creating the definitive likeness of Washington. George Washington, born in 1732, was the towering figure that connected the Peales to American history. As the commander of the Continental Army and the first president of the United States, Washington was the most famous person in America and one of the most renowned men in the world. His relationship with the Peales was primarily that of subject and artists, but it was a significant one. Charles Willson Peale's connection to Washington was both personal and professional. Having fought under Washington's command, Peale went on to paint more than 70 likenesses of him throughout his career. His 1779 portrait of Washington, commissioned by the Supreme Executive Council of Pennsylvania, became one of his most renowned works, depicting the general, with fallen British and Hessian flags at his feet. The relationship between Charles Willson and Rembrandt Peale was one of father and son, mentor and protege. In 1795, when Charles had temporarily ceased painting to focus on his Natural History Museum, he arranged for the young Rembrandt to paint Washington. To ease the process, Charles joined his son for the sittings, creating a unique father-son artistic collaboration. Rembrandt Peale's obsession with Washington's image culminated in his famous Porthole portrait, completed in 1824. Titled Patriae Pater, Father of Our Country, this iconic depiction of Washington through an oval window became second only to Gilbert Stuart's Athenaeum painting in popularity. Rembrandt went on to create over 70 detailed replicas of this portrait, including one that now hangs in the Oval Office. The Peales' artistic legacy and their connection to Washington helped shape the visual narrative of early American history.
Hey guys, this is the Militant Prophecy channel, and I wanted to make a quick video about an issue that I think got past a lot of truthers. A lot of truthers did not pay a whole lot of attention to this, and that issue is that Trump's pastor growing up was a 33-degree Mason. And this man's name is Norman Vincent Peale, and he was actually a well-known quote-unquote pastor, but he was also the Sovereign Grand Commander of the Scottish Rite Masonry in New York. He grew up a Methodist at first, but then he became part of the Reformed Church in America. Now, Norman Vincent Peale had a big influence because he was also a personal friend of President Richard Nixon. And then when Trump was growing up, Trump actually attended his church, and it's very clear that this man had a huge impact on Trump's spirituality. As a matter of fact, whenever Trump is asked about him, he just gushes over Norman Vincent Peale. And if you remember the famous interview where Trump is plainly asked, do you ask God for forgiveness? Are you a Christian? And what Trump does is he just refers to Norman Vincent Peale. I mean, he just gushes over Norman Vincent Peale and just talks about how he enjoyed his preaching growing up, and how much he just had a huge impact on his life. And then he's just asked plainly, have you ever asked God for forgiveness? And Trump says, well, I don't do that. I don't, ask for forgiveness. I just try to just correct something if I just try to do better every day and just try to do good every single day. So clearly you can see where Trump's spirituality is at, because he was heavily influenced by Norman Vincent Peale, who wrote The Power of Positive Thinking. And basically what this involves is just the name it and claim it. If you can just think about it in your mind and you can visualize it in your mind, then you can achieve it. It doesn't focus anything on God, but just having faith in yourself.
Folks, while most of the people in the world are asleep to the agenda, many of us know that the COVID-19 coronavirus is being used to forward governance and to push us into a new world order, or as Henry Kissinger calls it, a liberal world order. I want to show you something from the 4th of April. This is Dr. Anthony Fauci, and he is giving what appears to be the lion's paw hidden hand sign that is often associated with adherents of the various branches of the ancient Babylonian mystery schools, including but not exclusive to Freemasonry. You be the judge. This seems very deliberate, and then he waves afterwards to someone else after having appeared to signal that he is a member of one of the branches of the ancient mystery schools. This hand sign is most often seen with the right hand being used, and some may say, well, Dr. Fauci's using his left hand, so it can't be. Well, George Washington was a Freemason, and here we can see in this picture that he was using his left hand as the hidden hand sign. And it is probably no coincidence that Dr. Anthony S. Fauci, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and a point person on the federal government's response to coronavirus, graduated from the Holy Cross Jesuit College in Worcester in 1962. I'm not going to say any more about this at the moment, but I thought it was worth bringing it to people's attention, and you can do with it what you will.
There are stories circulating on the internet that in India and elsewhere, the drug ribavirin has been shown to be effective against this virus. Yet, Homeland Security is telling the CDC not to make any announcements until stockpiles of the drug can be secured.
Well, Dr. Gupta, there continue to be evaluations of several drugs. Ribavirin is among them. But right now, our best defense has been social distancing. No handshaking, staying home when you're sick, washing your hands frequently.
Can you tell us to date how many people have died from this virus?
Very difficult. We're still working on confirming that number. There are 50 different states in this country, which means there are 50 different health departments, followed by 50 different protocols.
Let me bring in Alan Crumwoody into this debate as well. Alan's a freelance journalist. He was the first to track the Shinko Busman video. Alan, today on Twitter, you wrote that the truth about this virus is being kept from the world by the CDC, by the World Health Organization, to allow friends of the current administration to benefit from it, both financially and physically.
There are therapies we know are effective right now, like forsythia, and they don't even appear on the CDC website.
On your blog, you also wrote that the World Health Organization is somehow in bed with pharmaceutical companies.
Because they are. That's who stands to gain from this. They're working hand in glove. And the hand is reaching into our pockets.
The CDC is exploring forsythia and other homeopathic treatments, but right now, there's no science to back any of these claims.
Or no way Dr. Cheever or the people who put him into power can profit from it.
We're not ruling anything out. There are people who are sick, people who are dying, and we
They're not keeping us safe from this any more than they kept us safe
about the
from Wall
health of every
Street
American
or Katrina. Dr. Cheever is being a bit disingenuous when he says every American citizen.
We're working very hard to find out where this virus came from, to treat it, and to vaccinate against it if we can. We don't know all of that yet. We just don't know. What we do know is that in order to become sick, you have to first come in contact with a sick person or something that they touched. In order to get scared, all you have to do is come in contact with a rumor or the television or the internet. I think what Mr. Crumwoody is spreading is far more dangerous than the disease.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes.
That's funny.
What's funny?
No, I think you're funny, because if you check on Facebook, you'll find a communique attributed to Dr. Cheever by Elizabeth Nygaard about the quarantine of Chicago, hours before it was announced to the public. That's why I think he's a bit disingenuous when he says equal care for all.
And having faith in your own abilities. So it just takes the entire positive thinking, name it and claim it, visualize it in your mind. Why it's so wrong is that it's anti-biblical, because it doesn't teach you to have faith in God. It teaches you to have faith in yourself and your own abilities. And of course, this makes sense, because when it comes to, Trump's arrogance, when it comes to him never fessing up to doing anything wrong, according to him, he's never really done anything wrong. He doesn't have to ask God for forgiveness for anything, because, he's never done anything wrong. He's never sinned. So obviously that takes away from the major doctrine of Christianity, which is that we are all sinners. There is no one righteous, no, not one. We've all committed sin. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. Therefore, we have to go to God. We need a Savior. But this positive thinking theology, this name it and claim it, visualize it in your mind, all it does is just puffs up your own ego and your own pride. And of course, it makes sense why this man has such a huge influence on Trump, because that is where he's coming from. That is what he was taught growing up. And whenever Trump is asked about his Christianity, he keeps bringing this man up, a 33-degree Mason, false prophet. Now, this shyster, Norman Vincent Peale, he was heavily criticized by other theologians, other pastors, and even other psychiatrists and psychologists because of just the way he wrote his books. One of the major criticisms of the power of positive thinking is that the book is full of anecdotes that are hard to substantiate. So almost all of the experts and many of the testimonials that Peale quotes as supporting his philosophy are unnamed, unsourced, and unknown. So, for example, in his book, he will say something like, a famous psychologist said this and this, or a practicing physician once said this and this, but none of that can be substantiated. So he's called out for poor references, poor quotes. He's criticized by other pastors, theologians, and even other psychiatrists. But yet, this man has a huge influence on our president.
Some pretty wild allegations here, Dr. Cheever. I mean, can you tell us what communication appeared and when? What exactly is the nature of your relationship with Elizabeth Nygaard?
Well, again, I'm not aware of anything attributed to me on any social
I'm sure you're not.
Facebook,
It is
Twitter.
there. It is there. Tell them what an Arnold of 2 really means, Dr. Cheever. Teach them some math. No? I'll do it.
And joining us now is Dr. Sanjay Gupta. Needs no introduction past that.
Dr. Gupta, here to break down the facts on COVID-19.
Is there one red flag, something you're experiencing at home that says, okay, time to get to the hospital, get to the doctor, and get the real care?
One of the red flags, and again, I want to be a little humble here because, we're learning about this all together, really real time. I mean, a lot of times when I've spoken to you in the past, I'm telling you things, it's based on 20 years of data, right? I can really feel confident.
Sure.
We haven't even had 3 months. This is a brand new thing. But having said that, one of the things I think is a bit of a red flag is, let's say you're not feeling well, then you start to feel better, and then all of a sudden the symptoms come back. That coming back part is of concern. Obviously, if you have sudden worsening of symptoms, difficulty breathing, spiking a high fever, things like that are more serious symptoms. But if you start to develop this sort of crescendo effect, that's worth talking to your doctor about. We know that the most vulnerable people are people who are elderly, typically in their 70s or 80s, although they define elderly as 60 and above. It's really people in their 70s and 80s who are most affected by this, and people who really have 4 underlying health conditions, which are heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and lung disease. Those are the people we got to help protect.
Most importantly is most people who get this are going to recover. So there's a lot of emphasis on the corona test, but something tells me that, you know, if you're a healthy person, you don't need a test.
This virus, the coronavirus, the new one, tends to affect the lower part of your respiratory system, more so than the upper part of your respiratory system. So what does that mean? It means that, you know, things like shortness of breath might be an earlier symptom. But on the other hand, if you have a runny nose, that makes it less likely to be coronavirus. Most people, if they do get exposed to this virus, are going to have a few bad days, a few days of being miserable, and they're going to recover.
On day 1, there were 2 people with it, and then there were 4, and then it was 16, and you think you've got it in front of you. But next it's 256, and then it's 65,000, and it's behind you and above you and all around you. In 30 steps, it's 1 billion sick. 3 months. It's a math problem you can do on a napkin, and that's where we're headed. And that's why you won't even tell us the number of the dead, will you, Dr. Cheever? But you'll tell your friends when to get out of Chicago before anyone else has a chance.
They're looking for a scapegoat.
Even Peale's own father had a very interesting quote in his book, Spirits in Rebellion, and it's on page 391. And he says, he tells his son, "You have evolved a new Christian emphasis out of a composite of science of the mind, metaphysics, Christian Science, medical and psychological practice, Baptist evangelism, Methodist witnessing, and solid Dutch Reformed Calvinism." So his dad even admits that he takes a little bit of false doctrine here, a little bit of false doctrine there, a little bit of metaphysics, a little bit of New Age spirituality, a little bit of psychology, and just kind of mixes it up and just puts it into a big pot of, you know, false prophet stew for, you know, people to consume. And I guess people really eat this stuff up. But when it comes to, you know, the positive thinking, the positive only preacher, the preacher that won't preach against sin, the preacher that won't preach against, you know, preach on hell, it reminds you of, you know, this type of preacher today, like the Joel Osteens of the world, the positive only preachers, the preachers that won't preach against God, that won't preach about God's wrath, they won't preach about sin, they won't preach about anything bad. It's just positive, positive, positive. And as they're raking in the dough, and, you know, him and his creepy looking wife and his creepy looking self, I guess just the strange part about it is that the harder they smile, the creepier they look.
He's a tall Caucasian male, doesn't appear armed, wearing sunglasses.
I don't like this one bit. Not one bit.
Vice President Dick Cheney, the man who's only a heartbeat away from the presidency, is actually a blood relation. He's President Bush's 9th cousin once removed. Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin and the 9th cousin of Brad Pitt. But we're only just getting started. President Lincoln was President Bush's 7th cousin 5 times removed, and Bush shared more than just a ballot with John Kerry. That's right, they're 9th cousins twice removed. There's also royalty in the Bush bloodline. Princess Diana was Bush's 11th cousin twice removed. And then there's this bombshell. Sure, she may have been singing to JFK, but what about GWB? He is, after all, her 9th cousin 3 times removed.
We have the mightiest military in the long history of humankind. We have the best and most devoted workers ever to walk the face of the earth. And now we're combining all of these amazing strengths for the most aggressive vaccine project in history. There's never been a vaccine project anywhere in history like this. And I just want to make something clear. It's very important. Vaccine or no vaccine, we're back. And we're starting the process. And in many cases, they don't have vaccines. And a virus or a flu comes, and you fight through it. We haven't seen anything like this in 100 and some odd years, 1917. But you fight through it. And people sometimes, I guess, we don't know exactly yet, but it looks like they become immune, or at least for a short while and maybe for life.
What's the update? My dear girl, it's gotten worse than you'd think. Your brother, he's been by, he's had his cry with me at the sink. Nothing's worse.
We will emerge onto a cleansed earth, one that we can then reboot in our image.
And just how do you intend to achieve this?
The means of our salvation are already at hand. I give to you the T-virus.
You're at least deliberately.
So quick to tell you that you're grown. Only I can say that for me. I know soul you may be, but in my bones suck a trauma dry of meaning. So quick you're with us and then you're gone. Dismissed the sadness and grief. I grew up when I felt your pulse. Grew up when I held your dead body. So quick you're with us and then we're grown. Dismiss the panic and grief. I grew up when I heard your voice. Grew up when you said you were leaving.
Now look at what they're bringing into this sea of cells, a virus.
Kids, it's time for me to cross over the stream to the other side where I'll
Now watch this. The virus. There's the Hydra. There's the black Hydra.
So quick to tell you that you're grown. Only I can say that for me. I know soul you may be, but in my bones suck a trauma dry of meaning. So quick you're with us and then you're gone. Dismiss the sadness and grief. I grew up when I felt your pulse. Grew up when I held your dead body. So quick you're with us and then we're grown. Dismiss the panic and grief. I grew up when I heard your voice. Grew up when you said you were leaving. It's not even real yet for my sister. And at her age, how could it ever be?
Fueled by the media, fear and panic spread quickly, fracturing and dividing the country until at last the true goal comes into view. Imagine a virus, the most terrifying virus you can, and then imagine that you and you alone have the cure. But if your ultimate goal is power, how best to use such a weapon?
They're using this orchestrated ruse to convince the public to accept Big Brother-type controls. And then they will intentionally reduce the mass of the world's population. Mass genocide on a scale never seen before. There are a mass of ways they could introduce population slaughter. More staged events, orchestrated and maneuvered conflicts, and the use of bioengineered diseases. Vaccines. It could come in vaccines. It'll be done in a barbaric fashion using draconian methods, and this global holocaust will probably come out from under the flag of the UN.
I can almost imagine us being frog-marched away from our homes in a martial law kind of way.
He created a flu that sparked the demand for a vaccine that doesn't work. After everyone in the country is vaccinated.
And the world?
He'll have murdered millions.
Nope, you don't have it.
We need to go. Now, before that vaccine ships and more people die.
Your father created a world-changing, not world-ending, a world-changing, world-improving omnivirus. And we have taken that virus and embedded it in the vaccine of this Stearns flu.
I knew it. I knew it. He created a panic, and now everybody's begging for the vaccine.
No. Demanding it with all the entitlement of a first world country.
Yes. And now we have exactly what we want. Hundreds of millions of Americans lining up, offering us their arms, and letting us give them our creation.
I'm pretty sure when every vaccinated person starts dying, they'll trace it back to undetectable virus or not.
What we are doing is far bigger than death.
This virus is not deadly.
It looks pretty damn deadly.
Tell me this. What have you done today to earn your place in this crowded world? We intend to stop human reproduction for 3 generations. The busy, endless global assembly line of babies will grind to a halt.
You're sterilizing people?
Huh? In the first 5 years, we'll start to see major birth rate declines as teenagers vaccinated today hit their childbearing years.
You're controlling the future of human civilization.
Is that what they're calling it?
This German magazine bringing a gift of the COVID-19 vaccine to the Christ child. Just absolute shameless propaganda for the vaccine. In German it says, an act of charity, vaccinate.
There is a new variant of COVID-19, Omicron, which is highly infectious and spreading fast. Get your COVID-19 booster vaccine to strengthen your protection. Please get boosted now.
Getting vaccinated is a civic duty.
Please get boosted now.
We just don't know the long-term side effects of basically modifying people's DNA and RNA.
An act of charity, vaccinate.
Ultimately, the mRNA vaccines are an example for that cell and gene therapy. I always like to say, if we had surveyed 2 years ago in the public, would you be willing to take gene or cell therapy and inject it into your body, we would have probably had a 95% refusal rate. I think this pandemic has also opened many people's eyes to innovation in the way that was maybe not possible before.
One of the biggest things for me in seeing this in Seattle was how the needle, yes, the needle, was piercing through a strand of DNA. Could this be to do with mRNA? You know, the technology, the needle piercing through the strand of DNA? Could this be to do with DNA manipulation?
We're really taking that leap in gene therapy.
Why must they look so fearful? I'm only trying to save your life. Feels like 700 years I've been alive. Stick it up, roaming the streets and set out to terrorize. And born
He's also related to Playboy founder Hugh Hefner, even Pocahontas, and Vlad the Impaler. Trace the family tree far enough, and you get Madonna.
We are all shapeshifters. We are all lonely drifters. If forgotten hours, we escape through the winking eyes in secret handshakes. Disposable me, expendable you. Just take what you need, do what you do. You take me under. This heart has seen better days. You got my number. Girl, there's no change in my ways. Over and over, you're on your own. Shapeshifters, 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 shapeshifters. Running from me, I'm hiding from you. There goes my alter ego. You know everyone that I know. A bend in the street, a bend in the truth. There goes my alter ego. You know all the people I know. Oh, you blew my cover. You're that kind of lover, that kind of lover. Whoa, you take me under. This heart has seen better days. You got my number. Yeah, there's no change in my ways. Over and over.